What is good, everybody? Man, it's your boy Jay in the building. We is back again with another one. The spring game is here, man. The Jackson State's most anticipated spring game in 2022 is finally on the way, dog. We got Arkansas Pine Bluff had their spring game yesterday or last night. Prairie View is about to have their spring game today. And Jackson State is having theirs tomorrow at 5 o'clock. On ESPNU, the first nationally televised HBCU spring game. Now, there's a lot of questions to be asked about the spring game. So, I mean, it wouldn't be a game preview because it's only a spring game. But, I wonder how many people is going to actually be there, thinking 20 to 30, maybe even 40,000 plus. How big is the tailgate going to be? I know the tailgate is going to be, I know that spring game is going to look like homecoming. It's going to look like one big, huge homecoming party, man. That's how crazy that's going to be. Just filled with Jackson State fans. It's going to be crazy. But let's get into the game. And the first person I want to talk about is Shedeur Sanders. How is he going to look in his second season? With some brand new weapons and a new look offensive line and the return of Tyson Alexander. I want to see how Kevin Coleman looks in his freshman year. With him and Travis Hunter being the two highest ranked players in the FCS. But we'll get to Travis Hunter in a little bit. I want to see how Quintarius Davis looks in this offense. And I think he's probably going to be one of the more anticipated players on this team as well. With him redshirting last year, so he set out a full year, practice with the team, so he knows the offense. So I definitely want to see how he looks with Shedeur Sanders against competition. I want to see how Malachi Wideman looks in his second season. And I know he's going to be a lot better than last year. And then with the newcomers, Jordan Williams, Cameron Buckley, and Mark Pope, who are all transfers, I definitely want to see how they look with Shedeur Sanders. But the biggest question I have, honestly, is how often are their tight ends going to be used? Especially with their whole new slate of wide receivers, weapons. I'm trying to figure out how active are their tight ends going to be used. You got Kevion Mullins from who transferred from South Carolina. You still have Jason Riley and DJ Stevens. So you have three, tight ends that are, that I know that are going to be used. But how often are they going to be used? Because look, everybody in the SWAC on defense runs a 4-2-5. And that's because everybody in the SWAC spreads the ball out. So it would be instances where a tight ends could be used more often than they should, more often times than not. Because more tight ends should be used, especially when a lot of defenses run, 5 DBs, potentially even 6, just to stop the pass. So using tight ends in a matchup where they're only gonna have 2 linebackers out there, it could be good for offenses to use more. So that's gonna be interesting to see. I want to see the return of Tyson Alexander. How does he look, and him coming back from his injury? I think this is gonna be his senior season. I definitely want to see that. Davion Hunt is a guy, I don't know if y'all see me react to his highlight video, but Davion Hunt looks like he is going to be a ball player. I want to see how he looks with this offense, but like I said before, I'm really interested in seeing this new look offensive line, because I believe that was really the downfall of the Celebration Bowl. I believe that was the reason that there were a lot of times that the offense were in slow starts and sometimes never really got it going, especially against ULM. I believe if their offensive line holds up, for the majority part of that game, I think that game goes a little different. So the offense, hopefully their offensive line questions could be answered this season, but I definitely want to see how they look this Sunday. And as far as the defense, really the only question I have is who's going to replace James Houston and Keontae Hampton? Some of the new look guys of the transfers on defense, Frankie Burgess, Antonio Dooley, Geronte Davis, Michael Pleas, Josh Griffiths, Jason Mercer. Some of those other transfers, I absolutely want to see how they look in this defense because, outside of James Houston and Keontae Hampton, it ain't really much to replace. But Travis Hunter is definitely going to be a guy that everybody is going to be watching out for, and everybody is going to be looking to see how does he look, not just at corner, but at receiver as well. How much time is he going to get at receiver, especially with all of the other receivers that are already on the roster. So Travis Hunter is definitely going to be a guy that I'm going to be paying attention to a lot. Is he going to travel at all? Along with Nugget. I think those two could be the best cornerback tandem in the FCS. And that's going to leave room for a lot of blitzes. And it's going to leave room. Now, I would say this for Jackson State to be careful, because as good of a secondary as they do have, I do believe that teams are going to find ways to try and beat the man coverage that they do have, because they're going to do a lot of blitzes. They're going to run a lot of blitzes. And one way to counter a team who runs a lot of man blitzes is to throw the ball deep. So it's going to be times where they're going to have to, they're going to have to find a way to hold on to their man for longer than 3 seconds. Because what if the blitz don't get there? That could expose the secondary a little bit. So they just got to watch out for that. But, and I don't know if Shiloh Sanders is hurt at all. I believe he's hurt. I haven't seen him in any practice clips for a while. And I did see him, matter of fact, I do believe he's hurt. I actually saw him in a knee brace with pressure. So yeah, he's definitely hurt. So I do want to see who's going to take the place of Shiloh. But I'm really interested in seeing Cameron Simon Craig. Where is he going to be used? He can be used that in the secondary. He's going to be used in the blocks. He's going to blitz. How much more is he going to blitz? Because I believe he's going to be a very, very, very important part of his defense, especially without Keontae Hampton not being there anymore, because he was the sideline to sideline linebacker. He didn't blitz much, So I wonder where Cameron is going to be used at, because he's going to be important. Not only that, but I do believe that he could be one of the premier defensive players in the SWAC period. And in terms of Aubrey Miller, I do believe that between him and Isaiah Land for a SWAC defensive player of the year, he's the most important piece on defense. He's gonna be the most important part. I do, question who's gonna play alongside of him at linebacker, who's gonna start. But this spring game, it's gonna show me some things, but it won't tell me the full story. Because remember, they've been practicing against each other the entire spring. They're just gonna be playing against each other. So this won't tell me much, but it will tell me who are the ball players who can compete and who I believe is going to get some action when the season comes. But I definitely can't wait to see everybody in the stands. Like, that game, like, it's going to be it's going to be electric to see how many people are actually in the stands. So it's going to be real amazing to see. And, but I do want to see the other quarterbacks on the roster as well. I do want to see how they measure up, against competition, but like I said, we haven't seen much of anything. Like, they put out clips here and there, but don't see any highlights at all. But that secondary versus the receiving core, it's gonna be real interesting. It's gonna be real interesting, man. So I may, hopefully, if they have the highlights of it, I'll be able to react to it. I don't know if I'll watch it live at all, but I can always go back and watch it, but I do want to react to it, so I may not watch it, but I hope y'all get to enjoy it live. It's going to be absolutely insane, man. So look, Jackson State is going to be, and then the amount of recruits that's going to be there. The amount of guys that are going to be there to watch the game, I could only imagine. And shout out to a CFL podcast for him. I think he's going to be doing interviews during the spring game, and he's going to be asking questions about where they're going to make their commitments. And I'm pretty sure most of them are going to say Jackson State because they're probably going to be there. So, but it's going to be amazing to see, and I honestly can't wait, man. But good luck to Jackson State against Jackson State. But y'all, whoever is there, y'all have fun for me, man, and I can't wait to see it.